Shaq went on Angel Reese's podcast this week and shared his billion-dollar idea for the WNBA. What is it, you ask? Well, he wants to lower the rim. What's up, you guys? I'm Rachel DeMita, and welcome to the Courtside Club. Clips from Shaq's interview with Angel Reese have been all over my timeline for the past 24 hours, specifically the clip where he says that the women need to lower the rim. Now, this has been a debate for many, many years. I've talked about it on my TikTok. I've talked about it here on my YouTube channel, and I wanted to react to the interview and see what he actually has to say and his reasoning as to why we should lower the rim in women's basketball. Now, before I even jump into the video, you guys let me know right now in the comments. I want you guys to blow up the comments because I feel like this is such a heated debate. Let me know in the comments below right now. Do you think that women's basketball should lower the rim so that more women can dunk? Shaq actually kicks this off by praising Caitlin Clark and saying that her game is something that he hasn't seen, and that kind of parlays into him talking about why we should lower the rim. So here's what he had to say.
There's women that can dunk, though.
Why do you think people love Caitlin Clark besides her skills?
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point. Steph Curry, a little kid. Like Steph Curry, I love. You know why I love Steph Curry? Because I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before. I've seen it a little bit in Mahmoud Abdul-Roh, but I've never seen a guy consistently come down. And if you look at, like, if you saw Steph on the street, he ain't got the LeBron muscles. He's not 6'9", he's 6'10". He looked like a perfect, normally office guy. Yeah. He's doing stuff that people never seen before. She's doing stuff we've never seen before.
I totally agree with Shaq here because Steph Curry changed the game in so many ways, especially if you think back to the mid 2010s. Steph Curry had a crazy influence on basketball from youth basketball all the way to the NBA. Even the style of play in the NBA is so different now because of Steph Curry. And I feel like Caitlin Clark has had a similar effect and has nothing to do with dunking.
Never seen nobody do that on a consistent basis. There's a lot of girls in WNBA that have done it in spurts, but you know that game I'm watching y'all in the Final Four, I'm like, damn, like, and I was a hater because you know I'm down. She was like, she's not gonna hit that shot, and bam, like, damn, she's not gonna hit that shot, man. Like if I say 10 times you're not gonna hit the shot and you hit the shot, that means you're the truth. So I'm telling you now, if you just lower it like this. Right there. I'm not saying go right there. I'm just saying, you know what y'all need to do one day?
I feel like it still wouldn't be good enough. It's never good enough for a man. People always disrespect women regardless. They're always going to not give us the same value as a man. So I just don't even think that.
And that's why you got to do what you've been doing. Go take the
I'm going to stop him right there because he lost me. He lost me immediately with that argument, saying to lower the rim this much. Shaq, I love you. You have helped me so much in my career. I adore you as a friend. But really? You really think that lowering the rim this much is going to have more women dunking? I can't give you, he's saying not this much, just this much. Like, you're joking. If you want to see the kind of dunks that Ja Morant is doing, that a prime Russell Westbrook was doing, that a current LeBron James at nearly 40 years old, the kind of dunks that he's throwing down, you would have to lower the rim for the women probably 7.5 to 8 feet to see that kind of explosiveness, that kind of shiftiness in the air for women to catch bodies like the men are doing. If you're going to start comparing the women's game to the men's game, you're going to have to lower it much more than that much. Like, this was silly. This is silly. You're going to have to lower it quite a bit. It is scientifically proven that women do not have as much natural athleticism, strength, quickness, physical ability as the men do, and that is okay. So we're going to need a bigger handicap for that if you want our vertical to all of a sudden be that much higher. But let's continue.
I'm telling you now, if you lower that thing to 99999,
and what's going to happen? All right, tell me, the money going to go through the roof?
Yeah.
What you think, we finna make meals?
Yes.
What kind of meals?
The same amount. I'm telling you.
200 mil contracts? 100 mils? No, absolutely not. See, we don't even have the people don't even watch the game.
Because I don't want to use the B word.
Okay, so he means boring. The B word is boring. Let's continue.
Unless it's certain people playing. It's like you're watching like a high school game. Our game is different because we do all the stuff. Alley-oops, throwing off the glass, fast break three. I'm telling you, like if my best friend, former agent, Leonard Armato. He used to run AVP, volleyball, beach volleyball. And the women were more popular than the men.
Okay, again, I'm going to stop him here. Why are the women more popular than the men in beach volleyball? This is not rocket science. They wear bikinis. That's partly the reason why beach volleyball is so popular. We should just say it like it is. It's not because their net is lower than the men's. I'm sorry, Shaq. And I'm sorry, Shaq, you also know this, so I don't know why he's capping here.
The women are more popular than the men. I'm telling you, dunking with the Shaq emblem with your knees up, man, you tripping. You tripping, bro. What? Brittany Griner just busting through the lane, busting.
Brittany Griner can already dunk.
I know, but.
So you just want more women? More women
Yes.
Dunking?
Yes. I'm just telling you now. So a lot of people going to comment, they're going to hate this, but I know exactly what I'm talking about. That's the only thing missing. Y'all got everything we got. Y'all do everything we do.
Okay, so why don't they watch other sports, though? Not just.
What you mean?
Like, all sports, people don't watch women's sports regardless.
That's not true. I watch track and field.
Why you watch track and field?
I watch track and field. Bro, I love track and field.
The women, they were looking so good this year for the Olympics.
Oh my God. WooWee.com.
You don't have a type.
Boy.
You be all over the place.
Okay, so thank you, Shaq, for proving my point. He's literally insinuating here that he watches track and field because he thinks the women are good looking. And also in track and field, they're not wearing as much clothes. But I'm not saying that the women's game in basketball needs to be wearing bikinis when they play basketball. I don't think that that's a solution either. And I'm just going to stop the video here. I don't think it really goes on much further than this. But this has been something that Shaq has been advocating for years. He even brought it up on TNT and said it to Candace Parker, who is like one of the GOATs of women's basketball. She was not having it. And I feel like any woman who has played, it doesn't make sense for a multitude of reasons. One, like I said, if you want to see those crazy dunks, those crazy posters like you see on the men's side, then you're going to have to lower the rim significantly. With that, it creates a lot of issues when it comes to practice, outdoor courts, all of these things. I talked about that. You guys gave me a lot of pushback saying, oh, there's adjustable hoops, this and that. You guys clearly live in areas where every gym is nice, but when I was younger, I was definitely practicing in church gyms and different places, playing also with boys on a different court. So you talk about just the years that it would take to kind of put different rim heights into place and make it so girls also were able to access certain things when they're practicing. Like logistically, to me, it doesn't make that much sense and it would take a really long time. The one point that he continues to bring up is that the women's game has everything but dunking. My rebuttal to that would be, I think that the women's game needs to change in different ways, and I don't think it includes dunking at all. I actually think it includes more of a 5-out set. I think they should make it more positionless basketball. I don't think it should be so much of a 90s style basketball. I think that the women's basketball game would be more exciting across the board, and this is partially why the Iowa team was so popular and so exciting for so many people to watch, because they played a new age style basketball game where it was really fast, really run and gun, a lot of outside shooting. I think that is a type of game that is exciting. And do I ever think that the women's game will ever be as popular as the men's? I'm not so sure. And I think that that's okay because it is still growing. There were still 20 million people tuned in to that championship game in college. And we are also seeing more and more of fans getting invested into individual players. And I think that's another thing for the women's game, is that fans need to be able to get invested into certain players, whether they see them on social media, whether they see the brand deals that they're doing, or whether they're just exposed to watching interviews of them or different things like that. When you are invested in certain players, you are going to be more inclined to watching the game. So this argument about lowering the rim, I'm sure that it will continue on until the end of time, until maybe one day the women's game is getting a ton of viewership. But I don't think that doing something drastic like this would be helpful in the long run. And again, even if you did lower the rim to 8 feet, 8.5 feet, 7.5 feet, the excitement goes away, because one of the cool things about a dunk is that not a lot of people can do it. So the men watching at home, seeing people that are 6 feet dunk, they're like, whoa, that's really cool. I don't think I could ever do that. Now you lower the rim to 8 feet and now women are able to dunk and it looks cool, but now all the men who are still watching the broadcast at home are like, well, that's not impressive. I can do that. Watch me do that. So Shaq saying to lower it this much or even this much, again, I respect Shaq. Not a good idea. It's a big no from me. I think there are other ways to grow the game. In this one is not it. But of course, you guys, debate in the comments. Let me know your honest opinion. Let me know what you think. And of course, thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it and click that little subscribe button because we upload new videos every single week. And with that, you guys, I think that's all I've got. And I'll talk to you next time. Ooh,